And welcome to the Green Hour on WURD at 96.1 FM and also 900 AM on the weekend, sponsored by Celia. I'm your host, Dr. Paul Hopkins. We're here every Sunday from 3 to 4 p.m. You can also find us online at www.wurdradio.com and in the community. My co-host is Health Advocate Bill Morgan. Bill, you there?
Right, man.
He's staying somewhere. Each week we bring clarity to the conversation about health and environment. We encourage clean living from the inside out. A centerpiece of this is maintaining a healthy lifestyle and getting informed about the connection between good health and what is happening in the world around you. It includes what you consume, what you wear, what products you use on your body, how you clean your home, what you drive, what you purchase, and the decisions you make every day. On the Green Hour, we will focus on how the environment plays a key part of our social integrity. On the Green Hour, we will focus on how the people and the planet are one. Without further ado, welcome, family! Big B, you there?
Yo, man, having fun out here this sun, getting all brown stuff.
You sound so far away, I can't hardly hear you, man. What's going on?
Man. I'm sorry about that. That's because I am far away, dude. I'm out here in Los Angeles, man. You know, I told you I had to come out and handle some business, but you know what?
Yes, absolutely.
It's working well, man.
Yes, it's good that you could tune in, Big B, and we know that you are. And, you know, if you have not heard, Bill, you know, we send our condolences to you and your family on the passing of your daughter. We know that this has been a rough time, so we keeping you in prayer. And, you know, you didn't even have to do this today, but you decided you wanted to be a part of this because you love the Green Hour so much, man.
Not only the Green Hour, I got to help take care of the family, Dr. Perry. You know what's up, buddy?
That's right, man. You know, and we love you, man. So we're going to keep you in prayer, and we pray for your safe return also, okay?
Yes,
and,
sir. Yes, sir.
Right. And today, you know, we're going to go in today. And Big B, you fill in if you can. I know you're doing some things on your side. So if you feel like you have to leave at any point, just let me know, okay?
Well,
and we appreciate you.
What I'm going to do, Dr. Paul, I know you want me to do the COVID numbers. I'm actually just pulling out of the rental car lot. But I'm going to do this before
Don't you try to do nothing. You better not. I just say you better not.
I'm going to give you the numbers, and then we'll go to the hotel, and I come back in. Will that work?
No, that's all right. I'll take it from here. I'll grab it from here. I want you just to chime in, man. I want you to be comfortable, man, and be safe, okay? All right? You know, it's snowing over here. What's the weather out like there?
Well, it feels like it's 70 degrees, what it feels like.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm feeling really sorry for you. Like our friend down in Florida?
Yes, you are. I know you feeling sorry for us. We are snowing right now, and his family, if you're listening for the very first time, this is Dr. Paul, and this is the Green Hour, and Bill Morgan, my co-host, is on the other side, and he is actually traveling right now on family business, but he's just tuning in. He said he wanted to at least still check in to see what's going on. So I'm going to go straight in. We have Mike Moore is not here today, but we do have Kia is sitting in. She's behind the board there. I don't know if she can actually say something, but family, Kia is all that. She's been on my Saturday show as a producer, and she is all that. And Jordan and Kia are working the board back there, and I think they just switched over. So we got Kia on the board.
Hi.
How you doing, Kia?
I'm doing okay. How are you? It's good to see you again, even though it's virtual this time.
Yeah, it's virtual this time. You can see me. We're live and in color. So, family, if you are tuning in, this is, and I want to go into this week. We're going to talk about today's show. You know, few things, you know, of course, you know, stay safe out there. If anyone's traveling or you're, you know, don't go out unless you have to, because it's actually getting a little heavy. And they say it's going to slow down, but it's getting heavy right now. So be careful out there. A lot of slipping and sliding going on. So be very, very careful. Hey, no better place to sit back and just maybe get your hot beverage, your teas, whatever, sit back and have good conversation. How about that?
I know that's right.
All right. A couple of things that I want to start off with, just giving note, you know, happy Black History Month, of course, to everyone. 2021 to the family. In the news, you know, we have some good things coming up. I have a good show. Hopefully we can do next week. And we want to really focus in on some of the pioneers of, you know, the Black history and civil rights. And we have a great show. Hopefully we can get everything for next week. So stay tuned, family. We want to really focus on some of the civil rights pieces and things that have pulled out, and we want to get some one-on-one interviews. So we got some good stuff, B, coming down the pipe, okay? B, I want to go in to give those numbers. So I'm going to give the numbers out today. And then also at the same time, if someone wants to call in, this is Testimony Sunday. So we're going to go in. And if you have a question, concern about anything that's going on, please just give us a call. And we can actually start to go into some of the things that are happening with specifically today, inflammation.
Right.
Inflammation in the body. I really want to talk about that inflammation today, because inflammation is a big part that's causing a lot of people a lot of problems. So if you want to call in, I'm going to open up the phone lines right now, 215-634-8065. That's 215-634-8065 or 1-866-361-0900. Again, that's 1-866-361-0900. You can also find us online. We're streaming live right now, www.wurdradio.com. And Big B, I want to go into those numbers, man. You know, Johnson & Johnson just came into. You got them, B? All right. Hopefully we can hear you, okay? Go ahead.
All right. Total confirmed cases, guys, is 106,563,511. Okay, that's total confirmed. One more time, 106,563,511. Now, our total critical list is up now a bit to 104,299, okay? Total deceased, still rising, guys. 2,324,553. Total active cases, 26,076,357. Okay, guys, give me my drum roll, I know Big Mike's not there.
Oh, they got it.
I love it. Total recovered, guys, 78,147,365. Yay!
That's awesome. That is awesome. Did you hear that, family? 78 million people have recovered from this. Why are we not seeing this, Big B? This should be on the news also. If you're going to give the death rate to those that are actually asymptomatic, you should also have, the amount of people that are recovered, because that's encouraging news to let people know that if you're doing something like keeping your body and your immune system, and, doing holistic health means that, spirit, mind, and body. That means get your mind right, have have the ability to exercise, and also take the things that you need to do to keep the body healthy and well. So all those things, that's why we call it holistic health. 78 million people out of the total amount of 106 million just diagnosed, right? And that's diagnosed was 106 million that have been totally confirmed. So there is success. There is light at the end of the tunnel when it comes to getting, keeping your immune system strong. So, Big B, a couple of things in the news. I did want to announce, and I just skipped right by it, but, we do have, Leon Spinks passed, man. Did you hear about that? Leon Spinks. I didn't know that. Yeah, world heavyweight champion, best known for defeating Muhammad Ali in '78. He died at age 67. We have a strong sports angle over here. We love our athletes, man, and the paths that they've paid for us for opening up so many opportunities for so many. But yes, he lost his 5-year battle with prostate cancer, and he had other cancers also on Friday. Spinks was born in St. Louis, Missouri. He represented also United States in 1976 Olympics. I know he was actually a gold medal winner, and we will always remember that when he had that fight with Ali, man. Everybody remembers that, where they were, and they won that decision against Ali. But yes, Leon Spinks did die yesterday at the age of 67. So we want to keep him and his family in prayer over that.
Right.
Yep. All right. Yep. I want to go in and start to really talk about this thing, Bill, inflammation. Inflammation is, if I would say, the number one cause of so many people's aches and pains that's going on. There's one specifically I want to talk about today. It's called bursitis. Bursitis. And that's bursitis spelled B-U-R-S-I-T-I-S. Bursitis. Okay. But you know that the bursitis is actually the inflammation of what's called the bursea, or bursea, which is plural, B-U-R-S-A-E. And that is actually, well, anytime you see itis after anything, it actually, at the end of the word, it just means inflammation. So any itis after that means inflammation. So basically, the bursea, it's actually like these small liquid-filled cushion pads. They're like little sacks. And it actually is for the purposes of reducing friction and rubbing together of your bones. You got it? So it's little shock absorber pads,
Right, right.
And these bursea are also located, most of the time it's usually around places like you might see it around your tendons, your joints. You may have it around areas of bones, muscles. The inflammation of that bursea, though, can be caused by certain things. Now, here we go. Here's what's causing a lot of the problems. Junk food, number one. Of course, we say refined sugar, refined salt, refined oils. Got it? Also, and also we got calcium deposits. Okay, so calcium deposits has a lot to do with that. So calcium deposits that build up. Also crystallized waste. Okay, crystallized waste. That's sort of just like unprocessed or nothing breaks down, starts to crystallize, starts to cause a problem. And then we got the physical trauma. Sometimes it's just the injury that you might have had that caused the bursitis. So bursitis usually occurs, there's several different types that you may have. Bursitis can also happen with things like, it could be like the elbow or like tennis elbow. Some people have like hip issues, maybe toe area. That's where the bunions come in, pain in that bunion area. Also, it could be shoulder. Shoulders, especially when I used to play baseball, I used to have all kind of problems with that bursitis in the arm because, usually around the first part of the year, spring training, we always used to have sore arms, and my father used to say, you better rub that arm down. They would make us rub down with things like wintergreens and things like that because they knew that bursitis starts to kick in because it also gets into the wrist area. Some people have what's called computer wrist. Yeah, there's tennis elbow, but there's also computer wrist, or things like carpal tunnel issues with their wrist. So today I want to talk about there's some of the things that you can take that are natural supplements and herbs, and also foods that you can take that can help you with that.
Right.
Okay? Because bursitis definitely happens in the shoulder, man. Let me tell you, that's it's like a throbbing pain sometimes. So here are some of the things that I recommend, that you can do. And the family can still call in if you have any questions. I want to hear from you.
Right.
One of them is, believe it or not, remember I just mentioned that, wintergreen types of like rubs, like you ever go into the, you may go to the store and you see the wintergreen alcohol, things like that. Those are excellent for soaking the arms, or soaking those areas.
Okay.
Allows it to move into those areas. So soaks are always going to be good. Himalayan salt baths. We say not to diagnose, treat, kill, prevent any disease, just food for the soul. Always get back to your, Himalayan salt baths. They work well. But remember, a lot of the problems with the bursitis in the shoulders and the arms and the joints and things has a lot to do with that calcium deposits or crystallization that's happening in those areas. And it has a lot to do, believe it or not, of the lack or presence of magnesium. So usually when there's a deficiency of magnesium, calcium can't be absorbed into the body unless magnesium sort of opens up that door. How about that? That's where it says the door.
And, Dr. Paul, I got a quick question for you. When you're doing that soak, how hot does the water have to be?
Well, I always say if you're going to take a hot bath, just make sure you take a hot bath that you're able to take it. Not too hot, okay, but just enough that you can sit in for about 30 minutes. I try to say take a nice somewhere around that amount of time helps you to just just relax, because it's also trying to bring you into what's called a parasympathetic
Okay.
relaxation. Because you know,
Okay.
sympathetic stress is that's the anxiety, that's the fight or flight. You're trying to be parasympathetic, but it's cooling down. So you gotta relax. So that comes in with it. All right, we got a couple callers on. We got is that Black Spirit on line one?
Oh, yes, it's Black Spirit. Good afternoon, Dr. Paul.
Good
I
afternoon.
just like, yes, I'm just disappointed with the information and to corroborate some of the things that you have pronounced. I am under your care. I have third stage cancer, and I've been on the treatment for approximately the last 8 weeks, and you have me on a strict regimen. The point is that I just returned from Haiti. I was down in Haiti I spent some time in Haiti to get some sun and whatnot. And the prescripts, the food chart that you gave me, and when I showed it to the people who I stayed with in Haiti, this boy was going to his cook, he said, "This is all we eat." He said, "This is all we eat." He said, "This is all we eat." I mean, he's daggone, man. We look at He's telling the people to eat the foods that we eat. He said, and that's why the COVID is not strong here. He said, because he said, listen, all of our foods are organic. Everything is organic in that regard. And then they pulled out, Dr. Paul, the sour sop plant. They brought it in because I told them about my conditions. They bust that bad boy open. They made a juice, a drink. I was drinking that stuff every day, Dr. Paul. I'm just saying, all I can say is that, that's all I can say. So,
why don't you bring me some back, man?
I tried to, but the people, when you come in, look, you want to go to jail? You trying to bring some stuff in? You trying to get me locked up, Dr. Paul? Wait a minute, man. I can't. I'm a Lord.
You should have wanted to see. Go ahead.
So I'm just saying, I would just want to just thank you. I know I see you soon. I got the body, I got the leg back on. My only concern on one level, many times it's clear, but lately I've been seeing dark red blood in the bag constantly. So I'm just drinking more and more water.
Yeah.
And whatnot. I try to drink close to 2 gallons of water a day. 2 gallons. And I find that when I inundate, then it begins to clear up. But that's it. Other than that, the people told me, they said, look, I came back, the guy that picked me up at the airport who brought me home from the hospital several weeks ago, he said, man, I said, well, he said, who your doctor? I said, Dr. Paul. I said, why? He said, man, what's his phone number, address? I said, well, he said, man, when I brought you home from the hospital, you couldn't hardly walk. He said, now you dancing around, you moving better than me. Like,
wow. That's awesome.
That's what's
That's
up.
the outside test. I was like, wow, you never know what the people, what they see. So I said, that's an honest testimony about how I'm being treated by my great Dr. Paul. So I just want to thank you, Dr. Paul. I just want to thank
brother.
you. And just keep on.
But you know what? You know what? It's, you applied the principle. You're rewarded because you're not breaking the rules anymore. When you know better, you do better. And, and you applied the principle. So you are to be congratulated on your success because you put the principles back in order. It has no choice. When you do the right thing, it has no choice but to correct itself. That's the perfect system that's inside of us all. So I thank you, my brother, for that awesome testimony, brother. You went down to the equator, brother. You went closer to the equator, man. They talked about that food, and the closer you are to the equator, the better, and the more sun and more energy is in the food. So thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you, man. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes, peace and love. Thank you so much.
All right, peace and love, brother. All right, Big B. Did you hear that, Big B? That's awesome. And what I would say is that, if you're listening, that was an incredible testimony because, so many times people are talking about applying the principle. Some people you'll know the truth and you won't apply the principle. Then you wonder why you're still wrestling with that situation, why you're still in that state of pain or disrelief or imbalance. We say dis-ease just means imbalance. That's all it is. When you're in a state of balance, that's where the state of ease comes in. When you're out of balance, that's where the word dis-ease says. So when you're having things like the bursa, or you have those inflammation in the joints and the ligaments, that's the body talking to you, saying, hey, you got to do something. You got to start changing up. You got to start to now, cool this system down. That means in those areas are inflamed because they're trying to put the fire out. All right, we got Yusef on the line. Brother Yusef, line 2.
Yes.
Brother Yusef.
Yes, good afternoon.
How you doing, man?
Hey, you ever heard of the statement a doctor says when people go to visit them and they'll say, "What's eating you?"
Oh, gosh. Okay.
I know you heard of that.
I know, yeah, I know where you're going with it, too. Go ahead.
The reason why they ask people that is because the stuff that they eat is now eating on them.
You got it.
That's all I want to say. Stop eating stuff that's going to eat on you. That's all I got to say. Thank you.
Brother Yusef, you ain't nothing but the truth, brother. I hear you, man. When you say ain't something eating on you, absolutely. It's either bacteria, virus, or fungus. Something's going on in your body, because if you put dead, can't give you life. Only dead is going to destroy you and tear you down. Only life begets life, family. So definitely, thank you, Brother Yusef. We got Glorious on the line. Glorious, line 3.
Yeah, hi, Dr. Paul and Brother Bill, Mr. Bill. Hi, both of you.
Hi.
Hi.
What's up?
You're hard to catch, I tell you.
Yes, no.
I know you're a busy man. I know you are, and I respect that. But anyway, I like to know what happens when your nails turn dark, toenails and fingernails.
Yeah. Well, definitely we have a chart that talks about the nails when they turn dark like that. When they turn in dark, that's usually points to liver, toxicity.
Oh, really?
Yep, we got to clean the liver. We have a we have a nails chart that we look at, and that's why I tell a lot of the ladies, I say, sometimes there's a time when you want to probably at least once a month clear off the nails, with the nail polish.
Oh, you haven't had any on? No.
Right. And a lot of because of COVID and the ability of the keeping and the upkeep of it, a lot of women have done that now. They're not wearing a lot of nail polish and things like that. But that's okay. But if it was a challenge, or that you were doing that, you want to always make sure that you're looking at the nails at least clear, at least once a month, so you can see the color. Color means something. Also, the lines in the nail mean something. When you have like the lines that go parallel up and down, those are actually signs of things that we have on charts that show parasites. And also, if you see white spots, that's calcium deposits. We can also see red pin, like dots. Those are pinworms. So there's things that we do that show on the nails. So sort of like, with African holistic health, we look at the whole body. The body is an assessment itself. You can see throughout the entire, whether it's her face, the eyes, which is iridology, the hands, the feet, the ear. We look at every part, even the teeth. Everything about you tells a story. So when you look at the nails and you see them dark, that's the body telling you toxicity in the liver. That's blood.
Okay.
Remember how old folks used to say back in the day? They said, "Oh, I ain't feeling good." They said, "You ain't got nothing but tired blood. You just got some tired blood. We got to clean the blood. That's it." And that's why we go to those herbs that clean the liver. Okay. So that's some liver
which
cleanse.
one is that?
Well, I can give you something just in general, because we can't say, we say doctors diagnose, treat, cure, prevent disease.
I know, food for the soul.
You know it, right? So we look at the things like one of my favorites. I go back to the sacred herbs. The sacred herbs are the burdock root.
Burdock.
Burdock. Burdock.
Yeah, before. Okay.
Also, you look for things like the pau d'arco.
How do you spell that?
PAU.
Yes.
D''ARCO.
Yes.
Pau d'arco.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I understand. Oh, yeah, Pau d'arco. Yeah, okay.
And then I'll give you one more, chaparral.
Okay.
Chaparral.
I heard that too. And how do you spell that again?
Sure. Chaparral is spelled CHAPARRAL. Chaparral.
Oh, chaparral. Okay.
Chaparral is also very good for detox of the lymphatic system. When someone has lymphatic or lymphoma issues with, with issues with stagnation of the lymphatic system. That's like swelling around the neck area or the swelling in the
Okay.
ankles and legs. That gets that system moving because that's your sewer system of the body. But that has a lot to do with the blood. It's not moving. So
Okay.
people tend to swell up in their hands, their feet, their ankles, their
Oh,
joints,
Lord.
all over. And that's because nothing's moving. So remember, that's like, for example, we may be in our house right now. You take a piece of paper, ball it up, throw it in the trash, right? It's in the trash, but the trash is not out the building. And that's exactly what the lymphatic system is. It's a slow system. So it moves very slow.
Okay, I got you. Okay, now what about stomach problems?
Stomach problems?
Right.
Yeah.
Any kind of stomach problem.
Yeah, stomach problems.
Also?
Yeah, you got to go back to really, I mean, we got an issue. I believe that's a United States problem because of the influx of so much of the foods that are processed and just overproduced and over-industrialized. It's messing up the villi. We have these things called villi in your gut, and they're villi or villa. They actually are like tubes that actually absorb the nutrients out of the food and bring it into you. But when they get blocked, or in some cases, in most cases now, the food is so processed through, and also the over medication, the overuse of antibiotics, all the chemicals and things, it literally wipes out people's villi. They have no villi left. So there's no fiber there to capture the food and bring it into the body. So they have assimilation issues. So they're saying, I'm eating, I can't. It seems like I'm always eating. I can't never get full. And that's because the body's trying to send a signal to the brain, eat, because we haven't received the nutrients. But really, it's a blockage at the villi point. So you got to make sure. Yeah, you got to make sure. So that's why we got to.
That's why people are hungry all the time.
That's why people are hungry all the time. Their guts out of order. Yeah, and that's also why people, when you see people overweight, when they're really overweight and they're not able to, they always feel like they're eating and they never seem to be able to lose weight. A lot of that is an assimilation problem. That's called assimilation. They can't assimilate the nutrients, and that usually happens in that cycle. We call that circadian rhythm cycle. And that cycle is usually between 7 p.m. and 4 a.m. That's the cycle right there. And in that cycle, that's where people have the biggest problem. They can't assimilate anything. So we got to go back to cleaning the gut again. Cleanse every change of season. Get my colon cleanse. My colon cleanse will get you right. I tell you that right now. Because that it comes right from, I get the Cape aloes, which is the bitters, which helps to regenerate the villi, and that comes from South Africa. And it's also now bound by the equator, just as my brother was telling me earlier, you're down there by the equator, so it starts to regenerate the villi. It starts to now, when you start to assimilate, you start to get that energy in there. Also another sign is not only they'll say you're not assimilating, but you're always, tired all the time. So now you get energy back. Now your energy comes back. Now you say, wow, I feel strong now. I can stay up, and you're not sleeping during the day or fading in the day. So get that in order. All right, Gloria?
Okay, yes. And I'm not taking that vaccine either. I'm not taking that.
I hear you.
I'm not taking that. I do what I need to do to keep my immune system. I'm not taking that.
That's it. You got the
3 months? Are you kidding me?
That's right.
They want me out here anyway, so I don't trust that stuff. I really don't. All right. Bless day, everybody.
Good. All right. You too now.
All right.
You too.
Bye-bye.
All right. B, you still there? Big B, you still there? He probably faded on me. I don't know. Did he fade on me?
He did. He did.
I know he had to go. He's in the middle of stuff. But listen, I want a family. I want to we want to go back into the bursae. As I was saying, the bursitis, one of the things that I was mentioning was the calcification and crystallization that's going on. When you start to get the calcification, that means your magnesium is low. So I recommend, here's another one, write this down. If you're taking notes, this is the one. That coral calcium, I've mentioned before. I did a whole show on just coral calcium. But it's the effects of why coral calcium works well is because it helps to break down the calcification and the crystallizations that are happening in those tendons, joints, and ligaments in those areas of the bursa that actually are causing the problem. Usually from overuse of your muscles is what causes a lot of that problem also. Yeah, it's food. Yeah, you got to watch the refined sugar, refined salts, and refined oils and those things, and make sure that your water's right. But you also, it's overuse of those muscles in that area. So it could be a knee, could be a hip, could be your joints. A lot of people are having inflammation in those areas. Has a lot to do with the lack of magnesium in those areas. So the coral calcium comes in powder form, or you can do it in the capsule powder. There are liquid forms of it, but I recommend the powder version. And usually take it as is recommended on a regular daily basis. Comes from the greatest and best forms of coral calcium, comes from Okinawa, Okinawa, Japan. And that's the lower peninsula, not the upper peninsula, lower peninsula of the island. So that's where you want to get it. And that's where they had the great exodus that time where people left the island because there was so many people getting well. They couldn't figure out. So all the doctors said, I'm out of here. Can't make no money over here. So we getting out of here. All right. All right. We got Yvonne. I'm going to take one more caller. Yvonne, you
Hi,
there?
Dr. Paul.
How you doing, Yvonne?
Okay, yes, I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can. Mm-hmm.
Dr.
Yvonne?
Dr. Paul, I want to thank you very much for all that you continue to do for us. I wanted to find out about your cash. I don't have a cash app. Dr. Paul.
Okay. I hear you.
Hi. Yes, to everyone. Yes, peace and blessings, Dr. Paul. Thank you very much for all that you do. I was on with the family tree, and I was telling you that I don't have cash yet because I want to give a love offering.
Yes.
And I know you're real busy, so you couldn't get back to me. But if you could give me, or off the air, or whatever, some other way that I can get that to your
okay.
Whatever.
Well, bless your heart. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. We appreciate you. And the family tree, we appreciate you because, that's one that we just say it's not for us. It's for the upkeep of the actual program that takes place on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. for those that are listening for the first time. So, yes, I tell you what, give your number and information to Kia, and okay. I will make sure I give you a call back, okay? And we'll make sure I'll give you the information of where you can send that, okay? I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much.
Could you,
yes.
Could you give me some information for bladder, like it's something that you could take temporarily? I know it's not to diagnose or treat, but
right.
Something to get to my physician.
Sure. Now, what's happening with the bladder? Just frequent urination?
Yes.
Okay. Right. All right. Very common problem right now. I mentioned that a while back that, a lot of people that are coming through, we got to watch, family, because of this COVID-19. You got to watch inflammation in the bladder. And that comes from holding. Make sure you're not holding, right? Remember we went over that, right? I think we covered that in the family tree. Don't hold it.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't hold your urine. And some people say, well, I don't anymore. I can't. Well, that's because maybe long term you may have been consciously or unconsciously doing it. So when you hold it, that holds it in that lower burner. We have that lower part of the body, we call it the root, or the root chakra, some say, actually is the part where most heat is forming. So when you actually are holding, that's the perfect condition for bacteria to grow. So what you're doing is when you finally get to the bathroom and you go and you come out and say, wait a minute, I feel like I got to go again. That's because it feels full. It's actually empty, but the lining of the bladder is a little inflammation in that lining. That's the precursors for things like UTIs, urinary tract infections. And we don't like them because they'll ride up the kidney, can cause kidney infections and a whole lot of other things. But it's always going to raise the temperature. You may start to hit sweats, and it can go into more complication issues when people start to get, like a lot of seniors start to get issues where it raises body temperature too high to the point of boiling, and they start to get dizzy spells, things like that. So it's all because of a UTI. So we use things like, not to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease, just food for the soul, things like the golden seal root. That's what we use, golden seal root. Golden seal root is the natural antibiotic that's used, and we always say make sure you check with your doctor if you're doing any medication before you do anything. But golden seal root is to not be taken. It has a cycle, and the cycle is you can't take it for long periods of time. You have to go with a protocol, and the protocol is 2 weeks on, 1 week off, 2 weeks back on, and then you quit it for a whole month. Got it? Then you can repeat the cycle after you waited a month. But I would just recommend it. Whatever it says on the bottle is what you want to do. That's the recommendation. All right?
Good. Thanks, Dr. Paul.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right. Kia, I think we can take a quick break. This is Dr. Paul and Bill 1L Morgan. He around here somewhere. He out in L.A. And this is the Green Hour, and we will be right back.
The WURD Radio Newsletter, keeping you informed, engaged, and connected. Sign up by visiting wordradio.com. Scroll to the bottom of the page and type your email address under Connect with Us. You'll receive the latest information on WURD Radio, messages from our president and CEO, Sarah Lomax-Reese, exclusive articles and multimedia content, and resources. Stay informed with the WURD Radio Newsletter.
Wayne Avenue Health Food, located at 5007 Wayne Avenue, has been in business for 29 years. Wayne Avenue Health Food is a one-stop shop for all of your quality vitamins, herbs, and information with exceptional, friendly, experienced service. Wayne Avenue Health Food is open 7 days a week and delivers in the Philadelphia area and ships all over the country. For more information, call 267-338-6488.
Want the latest in WURD swag? Check out the shop tab on wordradio.com. Hoodies, tees, and more in a variety of colors. The shop tab on wordradio.com. Show the world that you're all about black. Talk Media.
Happy New Year, Philly. It's Solomon Jones. The pandemic of 2020 blew the roof off of life as we know it and forced us to make radical decisions once thought impossible. Many parents and grandparents turned to the option of a public cyber education. In thousands of instances, they sought assistance from the one true pioneer and industry leader in public cyber education, Commonwealth Charter Academy. Visit ccaeducate.me and exercise your right to choose a safe, hassle-free, student-focused learning environment your kids deserve. CCA delivers elite online instruction streamed directly to the safety and comfort of your living room. They provide a laptop and headset along with internet connectivity that includes financial assistance, all at no cost to families. CCA has been the gold standard in school choice for nearly 20 years. Visit ccaeducate.me and ring in 2021 with a 5-star learning experience. Again, that's ccaeducate.me.
And we're back. This is Dr. Ball and Bill 1L Morgan, and this is the Green Hour. And today I'm going into this thing called bursitis. Bursitis. That's in your shoulders, could be in your knee, could be in your hip, could be in your toe. This is like little pads that go in there. They got a little fluid in there sometimes. And when you're having things like, the processed foods, things like, sometimes the inflammation from the refined sugar, refined salt, refined oils, dehydration, of course, I was mentioning is a big on that. But overuse of that area. So if you may be someone who works in an area where you're doing a lot of physical labor or physical activity, could be moving around, that also causes those areas of bursitis, and those areas inflames what's called the bursea. So crystallization, calcium deposits, things like that in those areas. I mentioned a couple things before we went to break. I mentioned calcium, magnesium. I mentioned that coral calcium. That's a good one, y'all. You know, Himalayan salt baths. You're trying to now soak those bones. We got to go back to soaking again. Nobody used to soak, man. When you're back in the Industrial Revolution, you know, my grandfather and grandmother and uncles and aunts and everybody used to soak. You know, they used to know it as Epsom salts, which is just magnesium. But now you know why people use magnesium, you know, because Epsom salts works good because it works on those areas of calcium deposits that are missing the magnesium. But I say you can take either that, or you can do that coral calcium, which has a lot of the magnesium, or you can go with the Himalayan salt. The Himalayan salt baths have a lot of all this stuff in there. So going in with those things help to reduce the inflammation. Now, I want to go also into a few herbs, because there are some herbs that actually help with this process. You know, some of them, there's one that's called the Balm of Gilead. You've heard of that from the Bible, y'all. Don't y'all remember that? Balm of Gilead. That is a good herb that reduces inflammation. So write that down. Balm, B-A-L-M, like a bomb, of Gilead, Gilead. That's, of course, where it was actually the place where this took place. So we're going to go in. I got Misty on the line. Misty?
Well, good afternoon. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Wow, we just thank you for all the good information that you give us to eat, because we're definitely eating. I just wanted to share about that bladder that the caller was talking about, her bladder.
Mm-hmm.
It is so important to get that RMA. Let me tell you, I came to you a couple months ago, and you put me on a system. You gave me the regimen that I needed. I was going to the bathroom up and down like 6, 7, 8 times a night, and I kept wondering, what is going on? Now, you might remember me. I'm going to call myself right now for you to remember Onion Foot, okay? Remember Onion Foot?
Oh, yes, I do.
Okay. I can't wait to call Ivy so I can get my appointment with you, because this is February, and I'm due back to you in February, at the end of February.
Okay.
There have been many things that's been happening that you have been talking about in your sessions. And I'm sure, you know, others, as you know, it's never one thing. But what you put me on about that bladder, I was concerned because, you know, you get all full up and you think about all these things and diabetes and all that. And I was like, well, I'm not a diabetic. You know, I'm saying, well, I'm not, and I'm not this. And I said, well, I need to get this test done. And I went and got the test done. And I'm going to tell you, I can go to sleep at night. I'm not running to the bathroom. Look, let me tell you, that green drink and all that you gave me to put in, I take every day, like you told me, off and on, 1 week off, 1 week on, all of what you told me. I just don't want to go through the whole thing. But that regimen, if she get on it, I guarantee you she will be satisfied.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for that testimony. She heard that. Hopefully she's still listening. You know, and you know, you applied the principle. I'm so proud of you. You know, when you get to that point where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're going to do something. You're going to stay and not break the rules. And you did it. You made it happen. And you saw the results, right? You remember I told you, I said, if you stay on this, it'll correct itself. And that just tells you the awesomeness of the power of the system that's already inside of us. So, Misty, you did an excellent job. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much, and I thank God for you and all that helped you.
Yes, yes, and I look forward to seeing you again.
Yes, thank you so much.
Okay, take care. All right, bye-bye. Boy, what a testimony. You know, that is something, as we say, you know, it's a perfect system created by genes. We don't do anything. If anyone's claiming that they're doing any healing, they're not telling you the truth. We don't do anything. We just read the imbalances. And then we feed the body, and the body corrects itself 11 times faster than you get sick. And as you see the testimony, we just read to say, okay, there's an imbalance here. We feed it. And that's why when we look at the food, the herbs are the food for the body. Isn't that awesome? So now the body already knows what to do. So why are we doing all this stuff, looking outside for stuff to actually take, like vaccines and all this other stuff, when all you got the greatest source is inside of you. You just got to trust it. You've been taught wrong. All right, we got Renee on the line. Renee?
For all your help with the community. I would like to find out what I could use for recurring gout and what to use to help it and how to avoid it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, gout, of course, very similar to the brucea that we're talking about right now. It's going back to inflammation. It's going back to that pH balance. The pH is off. So the body's going to go and try to cool it down by grabbing some alkalinity from somewhere. So that's why it's going to go to places like your foot, your ankle, wherever that gout is forming, to pull the calcium out of there so that it actually can now raise up the pH. So what you got to do, we got to get your water right first, right? Which kind of water are you drinking?
Crystal geyser.
Okay, how much? And you're doing the right amount, right?
No, you can always use more.
Okay, so how much more? You remember what the rule? We say half your body weight in ounces, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. So stay on the water, all right? When you start to increase your water, you're going to see a change. Remember, energy spins, okay? Energy spins. So every cell in your body, the good cells, the red and the white cells, right? The white cells are the ones that are fighting for you, and the red cells are what keeps the blood and everything healthy. So what's happening is they're spinning. They're spinning a direction in slow to the right. That means alkalinity. But now when you have inflammation, they're spinning fast to the left. And that's where inflammation, because remember, tear down, circulation, that's speed, that's male principle. So that's where that heat's coming from. So now when you got to pull that thing from moving fast to the left now to pull back to the right, it's going to take a little bit. So that's why you got to get the more green drinks and things like that. The green drink, you got a green drink?
No.
Okay, that's your next move right there. You got it? See, we need what's called feeder and fighter, something that feeds the body and fights at the same time. So it's nutrition and antioxidant. That's why with every herb, you'll always see both. Like vitamin C, vitamin A, vitamin D, all of them have both feeder and antioxidant properties. So that's what you have to do. So that seems like something that's missing, right? So I would definitely get that green drink. You got the green drink? You can go to any of the herbal stores and pick up my Dr. Paul's NGB. It's called the NGB, Natural Green Balance, and you can find it at Wayne Avenue Health Food Store, which is at 5007 Wayne Avenue. You can also find it, and that's in Germantown. You can find it at Pollock's Herbs, which is at 5925 Broad Street. And you can also find it at ACAF, African Cultural Art Forum, which is off of 52nd Street in West Philly. Okay?
Yeah.
And those are places that you can pick it up. But definitely the green drink would be something that I would recommend because that's a food nutrition. You got to feed the body, let the body correct itself. Most of us have never seen real energy. We're living in this northern hemisphere where all of this, indirect sunlight is. So we're not getting any nutrients. So what's happening? We're in all a state of malnutrition. That's where gout comes from. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're not, just come on in and get an assessment. I'll tell you exactly what you need to do, okay?
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm going to go in. I said Balm of Gilead. There is an herb called Balm of Gilead. Did y'all hear that? A Balm of Gilead. Excellent antioxidant, but also it's anti-inflammatory. And it's high in magnesium. Wow. So that's what's causing to now reduce that inflammation. Now, when you start to do that, the Balm of Gilead, there's also colt's foot. Colt's foot. That's COLTS. FOOT. Now, I'm not telling you all of this so that you can run out and get all these herbs. Remember, this is our arsenal, or we look at it as our toolbox of herbs. So we use it, and for whatever situation, you give it a try. Remember, it's food. Got it? So it's food. All right, we got Nick on the line. Is that Nick?
Yes, good afternoon, Dr. Paul. How you, sir?
Hey, Nick. How you doing, buddy?
Okay. I went to Herb to get the Dr. Paul's drink for I want to know the best way I can give her to take it. Could you describe, please? Because I didn't have a chance to ask them. I know they said you can put it in water, a cup of cat full.
That's correct.
Put it in a juice.
Yep, you can, but there are some things you got to be careful of. You know, whenever we're looking at, you can take it. It's in a powder form. For those who are listening for the first time, it comes in a powder form, and it's in a combination of the land and sea. So I took the best of both worlds. So the alfalfa, spinach, you know, things like turmeric, beets, all that earthly things, astragalus. And then on the other side, you have what's called like the sea vegetables, kelp, chlorella, spirulina, you know, purple dull seaweed, sea moss, all that stuff that's rich. Together, that's your multivitamin. Now, that's going to be able to feed the body all that you need for the entire day. Now, what you do, 3 teaspoon scoops in 12 ounces, usually 8 to 12 ounces. I usually say 12 ounces.
In the little scoop cup you put in there?
It's a little scoop right inside. Little scoop inside, and then you can use. Some people will use you must make sure it's 100% of your favorite juice or water, or you can do a 50-50 split. Okay, so the ones I recommend apple juice. Make sure it's 100%. If you have to go that route, apple juice. You can also do grape juice. You can also do pineapple. Those are good anti-inflammatories. It has the bromelain. And also you can do things like, there's other ones, like some people would use like coconut water with it, or, you know, any other juice. But here's the ones you got to stay away from. Got it? Stay away from. You know, there's certain ones. I say pomegranate juice, cranberry juice, carrot juice, and that's because the carrots are usually from the orange carrot, not the purple carrot, because the orange carrot is a hybrid. That was one of the first hybridization that happened with the Queen Anne's lace and the wild yam. So that's not good. You can get the purple. And the last one would be this thing they call orange juice, which ain't orange juice. It's actually ascorbics or any ascorbins. So scorbates or scorbic acid, that's from the orange juice. So you got to watch those. So if those 4 right there, you got to stay away from. And then when you do this, we try to say this is a food. So try to take it at least twice a day. If you can do it after, to see the greatest results, you would do it as a meal replacement after every meal. Or it can be a replacement for a meal. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot of times people will say...
So you said grapefruit is one of her favorites, so...
Grapefruit? Okay, grapefruit's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. This as long as it's grapefruit with seeds, okay? Make sure it's with seeds. Number 9s.
Okay, number 9 seeds.
Yeah, number 9s means it's organic. No conventionals. Got it?
Okay.
All right?
Well, you answered my question, Doc. I'm going to get me some because it gives you a little energy, too.
Oh, yeah, man. Absolutely. That was the whole purpose of the green drink. And then I made it taste good. So I knew it was going to be a problem. I said, people ain't going to want this because it's green. And then I said, let me have to work on it. It took a year just to get the taste right. And then my son was my beta. He was my beta tester. And he came in, he was little man at that time. I said, if I can make him want it, then everybody gonna want this because it'll taste right. And then he showed enough, after he gave me the thumbs down for so long, he finally one day came and said, Daddy, that's it. That's it right there. He said, matter of fact, when I take it now, it make me feel like the Hulk. so I know it was... He said, Daddy, it make me feel like the Hulk. I said, now it's your Hulk drink. He calls it his Hulk drink. I think he still calls it his Hulk drink, too. I don't know. But anyway, thanks, Nick. I appreciate you, brother. All right. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. And I got one more. I think I can get this last one on. And Kia, tell me if I can or not. I got Alton on the line. If I can get Alton on the line.
Yeah, you can real quick.
Okay, real quick. Alton, you there?
I'm here, and my question is relating to seeds oil. I'm supposed to get a tooth out tomorrow, and it's because I've lost a lot of gum, and there's bacteria in my mouth supposedly farther down than they can clean. So I was wondering if the Thieves oil would have helped, or if I can use that in the future to eliminate that problem.
Yeah, well, Thieves oil has a lot of different things in it. You remember Thieves oil has those, it has the combination of the clove bud, the lemon balm, the cinnamon oil, a eucalyptus, and the rosemary. It's like a 5 forms of those oils. They are always good. Not all those are they need maybe a carrier oil. I wouldn't recommend that necessarily for the gums. I always use something for the tooth. You got to get back to things like the golden seal root, and then things like black walnut. Make a powder concoction so that it actually draws and make sure there's no infection. But definitely I would have to unpack that for you, okay? So I would say give me a call, and maybe I can elaborate a little bit more. And ultimately come on in and get an assessment, okay? And I can have you
I'm
do
due for a follow-up.
Yeah, I would recommend, if anything, oil pulling right now. That would be the number one thing, oil pulling. If you need to get that formula for oil pulling, just go right to my website, drpaulherbs.com. That's DRPAULHERBS as in Sam.com, and you can go to download and you can pull down the oil pulling. That's the ancient Ayurvedic Indian concept, goes back thousands of years. Take an unrefined oil like sesame oil and just squish in the mouth, and that should start to clear up a lot of things. But definitely you can find it right on my website. All right, Alden?
I appreciate you.
Okay, thank you, my brother. I appreciate you also. All right, family, we got to go. Kia, is that my word? I got to go.
Yeah.
I got to go, y'all. It has been a pleasure. Big B had to step off for us. He had so much he's taken care of. We are continuously keeping him in prayer as, his family goes through a situation, of course, with his daughter, the passing of his daughter. We send our prayers and heavenly angels over his family right now and protecting them through all that they're going through. So Big B, he just had to check in, didn't he? He just wanted to check in. That's my buddy. But listen, family, I want to say, if you want to get a hold of me, you can always call me, Dr. Paul, 215-779-7355. That's 215-779-7355. Or you can call me on my appointment line, which is 1-877-377-2854. That's 1-877-377-2854. And you can also, we have still the RM3A. I still have the 10% discount. So call in for the whole works. We got the works count that you can get everything 10% off. Get your 10%, y'all. Also, www.drpaulherbs.com. You can go to our website, get a lot of good articles and things that are going on. We are still doing the family tree, which is every Wednesday evening at 7 o'clock. And if you want to be a part of that, all you got to do is just go to the website, subscribe, put your name, email, and then I will send you a personal invitation to the family tree. And then you'll know every Wednesday you can chime in. And it's becoming big time, man. Everybody's checking in. So I want to thank all those. I want to thank our producers, Michael Ledbetter, Laura Lomax, and our president CEO, Sarah Lomax-Reeves. Hey, Miss Beverly Lomax, we love you for providing us this platform so that we could do what we do and talk the way we talk. So I thank all those that chimed in today for Testimony Sunday. And I tell you, if you didn't get something about what happened today, you better check your pulse. All right. Kia, you there?
Yep.
Thank you so much for filling in for my man, and, we'll get Big B back and I'll talk to him, and Bill will probably be with us next week. But thank you so much, Kia, for filling in for Mike.
Thank
you. And you did a great job. I'm asking you to do a whole lot.
No, it is all good.
Oh, I got it.
It's always great working with you.
So thank you so much. This is Dr. Paul and Bill Morgan. I'm stepping in, and I always tell everybody as we leave, if you're breathing, you got a shot.